Someone who's been watching this and has a really important understanding of the politics and the business side of SAA is Carol Paton. She's an editor-at-large at the newspaper Business Day. Carol, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time today. This was an important moment, right, this meeting. The decision's now been taken. What happens next? I imagine government has to come up with some money.
Yeah, that's exactly what's next. So it was a very important step, and that hurdle has been crossed. But in terms of the plan that was passed this afternoon, government must come up with a letter of commitment. So that is both Treasury and the DPE have to come up with a letter of commitment by tomorrow saying we will provide the funding, and that funding is in the region of 10.4 billion rand.
10.4 billion rand at a time when government says it can't actually pay increases for workers that it agreed to. I mean, that seems like a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and as Guy was just saying earlier, it won't be the last of it, because that doesn't include all the recapitalizations for Mango and SAA Technical and all of that. And it also doesn't take into account the trading losses that have been penciled in. So it'll be some time before SAA is even, and somebody in the meantime is going to have to pick up those losses, which are quite large. And there's no indication of who that would be. So 10 billion won't be the last of it, and I think that's a concern for many people.
Carol, I'm going to have to ask you to talk me through the politics on this one. If I recall, Tito Mboweni, the finance minister, once said he didn't want anything to do with SAA. He wanted to sell it. Now, if I understand this correctly, Pravin Gordhan, the Minister of Public Enterprises, has to ask Tito Mboweni for money.
Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. But as you know, there has just been a budget process. Government has just gone through a supplementary budget process. It's adjusted the budget. It's chopped off 130 billion or something like that. And SAA was not mentioned in that supplementary budget. And that budget is a decision by Cabinet and was adopted by Cabinet. So I don't know on what grounds Pravin Gordhan is then going to persuade Tito Mboweni that he is bound and obliged to provide this money. But that is what is going to be happening behind closed doors over the next day.
Is there a sort of big debate in the ANC on this? I mean, we saw them talking about economic proposals. Those were published just ahead of the weekend. I went through them very briefly. They didn't seem to talk much about SAA at all.
Well, there's no debate at all on this, and I think that, the ANC, the only standing resolution the ANC has made is to say we support the idea of a restructured airline. We want a national state carrier. That's what we want. So that's the resolution, or that sort of decision stands. There hasn't been any debate about, well, if you want that, this is how much money you will need to put into that, and therefore that's how much money you will have to take away from something else. So that sort of debate about what the trade-off really is hasn't happened. But of course, if you ask me if I would like, a brand new car, I'm going to say, yes, of course I do. But if you ask me, well, to pay for it, well, then that's going to be something different.
What happens next? So we have this big debate between the two ministers. We have the debate within the ANC. Carol, I mean, I have no evidence with which to back this up, but if I had to say, on Twitter or wherever, do you want 10 billion rand of government's money to go to SAA? I don't know if the majority of people in South Africa would agree.
Yeah, I don't think they would. I think that people would not agree. Look, there is an argument. It's not as if there's no argument at all that there should be a state airline. It's good for tourism. It's good for regional connectivity. It's good for those things. But is it something we can afford? And so I think that the citizens, the public out there, are not going to. They're very aware of this choice. They're aware of what this is.
Carol Paton, thank you very much indeed, editor-at-large at the newspaper Business Day. Really do appreciate the time.